very warm welcome to the next short series on SAP FSM. So today we are going to discuss about on high level on planning and the dispatching part. Now, in case if you are new or if you're already being experienced, I think it's okay for our course because again we're going to take everything from the scratch. Now let me just quickly go on to our first slide, which is the planning and the dispatching part. Now the most important part of overall SAP FSM topic is the planning and the dispatching bit. Now, what different we have, so that's why this SAP FSM is so unique in the market. It has a dispatching board which shows the dynamic calendar of your technician schedules, where you can just easily drag and drop the assignment. You can just change it, or now let's say in case might be if you want to assign it to someone else. So there are so much of flexibility you have it. Okay. Now there are two important things which you have on related to a service request. One is the service call. The service call is or a case. It's now let's say if I am a customer, I find there is an issue with my machine. I am going to have a service request or a service call. So in SAP FSM, service call is what very similar to what we have in ServiceCloud as a ticket, or now in a V2 you have a case management. Now, for every service call, you have an activity. So now, let's say in case if we just talk about activity, activity can be your as generic as might be having an appointment or a reminder or some kind of a task. And we need to make sure that we are very clear here between the difference between an activity and a service call. And if you look at the relationship from the cardinality perspective, one service call can have a multiple activity associated with it. Now, being said that, now let's just do one thing that might be I can show you some screenshot and then maybe we'll just jump into the system bit. Now, this is the planning and the dispatching module look like. Okay. Uh, so now let me just do one thing now. Let me just show you to the system only, and then might be just come back and here talk about the last part of the assignment for activities. Now, if I quickly go back again into the system, so now you know how do you actually log in into the systems based on your reasons, eu.coresystems.net, or if you're in the US, us.coresystems.net. Now, once you have done that particular part, now what you need to do is maybe you can just quickly click on the tile, or might be from here also from this view, you can just click on the planning and the dispatching bit. Now, once the planning and the dispatching bit opens it up, there are different modules. Okay, so now, or different functionalities, I should say. By default, it will open up the screen, but you have the concept of project planner, where you will be able to do some kind of project plans, which is a very unique proposition offered by your SAP FSM, because now here you can actually just break that complete project into tasks and do the assignments. Then you have service map. So this is again a revamped map. Now this is not this functionality has been changed altogether as such. Okay, so here you can just see the activities open or the technicians equipment regions. Okay, so again, now let's say in case if I just take any of the functionality here, now let's say if I just step inside here, you can just quickly plan here also the functional or you can assign your activity directly on the technicians board. So it's again the powerful one. Then you have your service call, then you have your then you have the activity similar to like service call, and then we have this time and material journal. So these are the overall high level features available into the planning and dispatching board. But I think for today, I just want to talk about one thing very specific, because as I said, this is the heart of SAP FSM. So now you look at how I have assigned some kind of an activity to my field technicians, and now this is the day, this is the specific time when I've assigned him. Now let's say in case if I have need to move this activity might be to next day, it's so easy to plan it out. Okay, so I can just drag and drop. And so this board is full of features. Trust me, it's a full of feature. Okay, but again, if you want to see what exactly is service call code, now you can just click on this service call code. So this kind of a model dialog opens, which talks about the function, some general information about that particular your service call. If you want to see what are the activities associated to it, you can just see that particular part. Now, let's say in case if you want to check which exactly activity was closed, you can see that information from here. Apart from it, you can plan manually. You can plan or assign the tickets to technicians based on your fine matching technicians functionality also. Okay, so we have already discussed in detail in course how does we configure this fine matching technicians here. Okay, and on the right side you have the panel which talks about the information of the service call code. Apart from it, if I click here on this panel again, I think this also have been bit revamped. Now you can just change it from like how long you want to see the calendar for that particular technician. So now this is like a 1 month. Okay, might be I think you can increase maximum to 4 months, but again the visibility will be losing it out. So I think the best is always that might be we can just see for 2 days or might be just a 1 week, so that you have very good clarity about the calendar of your technician. Uh, Apart from it, if you right click on it, I think again you still have a lot of features. Okay, now let's say in case if I click here, you have so many features on this planning and dispatching board, which trust me, when I started with this module, I think it was like 4 5 years back. So the functionality was like very new to me because I was just using this MRS scheduling on this on-premise one. But when I started using this, I felt like this is a very plug and play application as such. Okay. So again, I think when you start the course with us, so again we're going to just show you how to actually create activity, how to actually assign it to technician, how does then technician actually closes the call, how this loop of complete end to end gets worked out. Okay, and how you can actually track, might be in case if your engineer is on a leave or in case he's a reserved or he's might be booked. So there is a lot of the functionality which I'm going to show in this particular course content. In case, let me, okay, so I'll just go to the last slide of it, then I'll just talk about the important bit. Now, again, I think whenever we have to assign a technician, so there are two ways again, by manually, and the second one is suggested technician. Again, I think we have the concept of, or the power of AI also, based on which we can actually auto assign to the technician also, so that we can make sure that their calendar is also really filled up with the activities. Okay. Now I'll close it here again. In case if you're interested in joining the course, please reach out on this, or maybe you can just put a WhatsApp text, and this is my email ID. Looking forward to have you. Thank you.